coordinator and our club president as well, Toastmaster Sandhya ma'am. Due to some emergency, she is not able to join. So I will be proceeding with the meeting. Thank you so much, Nikhil Kurtarkar. I am Toastmaster Nagaraj. I am Vice President Education for KLS IMER Toastmaster Club and Assistant Coordinator for Youth Leadership Program 2021. I welcome you all for this wonderful session of education session for the youths of this era. And all these 8 sessions were really great, and we can witness the tremendous transformation in the youth leaders. Those who joined, and they did a lot of efforts and struggles to come to this level. And today is a day which will decide how much they learned from all these weeks of rigorous training. First of all, I would like to thank Toastmaster Sunil sir for accepting our request to be a chief judge, and all other assignees. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time for this session. I don't want to take much time. I would like to welcome our MOC for this today's session, Toastmaster Rutu. Toastmaster Rutu.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, stage is all yours. All the best to all the participants and the role players as well.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nagraj, sir. Leaders don't force people to follow. They invite them on a journey. A very good afternoon to all the budding youth leaders who are as vibrant and as bright as the afternoon sun. A very good afternoon to all the youth leaders, chief judge, to my Toastmasters and guests. I, Toastmaster Ritu Surebankar, welcome you all to the semi-finale render of Youth Leadership Program for the year 2021. With great pleasure, I would like to introduce our today's contest chair, Toastmaster Ankita Arolkar, without whom the meeting would be completely incomplete. Toastmaster Ankita is currently pursuing her master's in KLS IMER in the field of marketing. Her hobbies include yoga, meditation, cycling, reading books. She has a special place and is very fond of dogs. She is very passionate about achieving her dreams and goals. She is a person who loves to get socialized and create a network with them. According to her, words work wonders. So one should think twice before using their words. Toastmaster Ankita Arolkar has recently won the first place in the table topic session and has also won second place in the international speech contest at club level. Over to the contest chairmaster, Toastmaster Ankita. The virtual platform is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rutu. That was such a stupendous introduction of mine. With this, youth leaders, let us begin our today's evening. A very good evening again to our chief judge, our contest officials, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Welcome you all to the speech contest of semi-finals of the Youth Leadership Program 2021, conducted by our own club, KLS IMER Toastmasters Club. All the contestants have made the eligibility criteria, which is to be the member of the Youth Leadership Program, conducted by the Toastmasters Club. All the contestants have been briefed about the rules and the timings of the contest. The timings of the contest have already been told before. The speakers speaking less than 40 minutes 30 seconds or more than 6 minutes 30 seconds will be disqualified. The green signal will be given at 4th minute, the yellow at 5th, and the red at 6th minute. No signal will be given for the overtime period. In case of fault of the timing device, an additional 30 seconds will be allowed for the speaker. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight the contestants when they are called to deliver their speech. The speaking order of the contestants has been already determined by an online application called as Randomizer. The speaking order is, the judges, please note the speaking order is contestant 1, KRUPAAL, Kripal. Contestant number 2, VAISHNAVI, Vaishnavi. Contestant number 3, SUHAS, Suhas. Contestant number 4, YASHASVWINI, Yashaswini. Contestant number 5, PREETAM, Preetam. Contestant number 6, PAVITRA, Pavitra. Contestant number 7, ANANYA, Ananya. Contestant number 8, KEERTHANA, Kirthana. Contestant number 9, NIKETHANA, Kirthana, Niketana. Contestant number 10, TANISH, Tanish. Contestant number 11, KASHVI, Kashvi. Contestant number 12, HINANRANMAYEE, Hiranmai. Contestant number 13, SIDDHARTH, Siddharth. Contestant number 14, SHRUTI, Shruti. Contestant number 15, SAISH, Saish. Contestant number 16, ARADHYA, Aradhya. Now I will explain the flow of the contest. Everybody is requested to mute their audio. The host will unmute the contestant as per the speaking order. I will ask each of the contestant to adjust their video and audio settings and by confirm saying what a beautiful day. There will be 1 minute interval between the speeches for the judges to mark their ballot. After all the contestants have finished their speeches, there will be a 3-minute interval will be observed to enable the judges to total their scores. The tally counters will collect their ballots privately from the judges. Announcement of the contest winners is final unless the list of the winners is announced incorrectly, in which the judges and the tally counters or the timers are permitted to immediately interrupt to correct the error. Now, moving forward, let us introduce our chief judge for today, Toastmaster Sunil, who is a Toastmaster since 2016, a passionate public speaker, and who is presently the area director of Area H4 District 92. I now call upon Toastmaster Sunil to give his remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankita, for having put a very clear understanding of what we are here in terms of what we are going to be doing today and what is the intent for this particular speech contest and laying down the rules of the speech in a very lucid manner so that everybody can understand appropriately. Thank you for that. Moving forward, I believe that I am privileged to be here to judge the speeches given by, I would say, the future rising Toastmasters that I think one day will make our country extremely proud. And I would not be surprised that having started so early in their life, I'm pretty sure many of them would walk the stage of the international speech contest at the global stage and make us all very proud. And hopefully that day they will remember that they were in this contest today on the 13th of February. And I had the privilege to be the chief judge in that contest. And I think that will be something that I will look forward to. Like I said, it is indeed a privilege to be here and watch all the youth leaders put on a performance of their talent, and which is, I think, a culmination of a lot of effort that has gone in the last many weeks. And I'm pretty sure they will do us all proud. And it doesn't matter who wins, who loses, because it's a contest. Invariably, there will be somebody who will move forward and somebody will stay back. But I think more important is the fact that you guys have taken the first step in being part of this, and for that you should all be proud. I think that's all from my end. Over to the contest chair. You need to wait for a couple of more minutes for starting the contest. I will let you know. Okay. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankita.
Yes, sir.
Ankita, you can start.
Yes, sir. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight the contestant number 1, Krupal. May I now request the host to please unmute the contestant? Youth leader Krupal, please check your audio and video by saying what a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day.
Ankita, there seems to be an echo.
Krupal, please check. Youth leader Krupal, are you there?
I think he hung up.
So, can
Yeah,
we go with the next?
No, let's just wait. Give him some time. Let's see if it doesn't come back. Then we will see. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Ankita, do you have the contact number for his number? Do you have? Somebody can get in touch with him?
Sir, actually, he's in contact with me. He's asking for a couple of minutes, sir. Can we wait for him? This is Anushri.
Yeah, understood. Then what we can do is we can go to the next contestant, and we but then we'll have to push him to the last. We can't bring him in
Yes, sir.
between. Could be a challenge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to the next speaker.
I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 2, Vaishnavi. May I now request the host to please unmute the contestant 2, Vaishnavi? Vaishnavi, please check your audio and video check by saying what a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. You can go ahead, Ankita.
Okay. Youth leader Vaishnavi, live and let live. Live and let live. Youth leader Vaishnavi. You can start.
Mother Teresa once said, if we judge the people, when we would love them. Madam Coordinator, respected Toastmaster, and my dear youth leaders. Good evening to everyone. If we judge a person before we know them just by their looks, caste, or their color, the way they dressed, or the way they look to you in general, you are the one with the problem, not them. Stop the hate, isn't it? Many of us seen these kinds of people who just hate others because they don't like language, clothes, faith, or culture of them. Sometimes even they fight for these petty differences. Sometimes even they kill them because of these differences. I always ask myself why people hate so much each other. They hate so much each other so that they take someone's life. To take someone's life denounces the whole aspect of why we live. You all might have come through the thoughts like live your life to the fullest and enjoy every moment of your life with your loved ones, isn't it? But what does this really mean? I never understood the meaning of these words. We live in a free and happy environment. But once upon a time, I was thinking too deep on this situation. And then instantly my mother came and asked me, what's wrong with you? Why are you thinking so much? Then I told her all the situation. Then she instantly replied me that the life is given by the God, which has a very special meaning. The value of life, which people doesn't understand. Sometimes they forget to thank you or regret to the people who have helped them. Has everyone saw the Three Idiots movie? Can you please raise your hand? Oh, many of you. So in that Rancho Das Chanchar, our Amir Khan said that do not run behind the success, run behind the knowledge. Success will automatically run behind you. But nowadays, people run behind to become a popular person, not knowledge. And countless of people fail and commit suicide. But don't you think that life is so precious and everyone has to cherish and respect it? Let people do what they need to do and make themselves happy. Let us do not interfere in them and be happy by making ourselves happy and making our around us happy. Martin Rubin once said, we should not judge people or or try to figure out what makes them tick. We should leave them hell alone. That's what we need to do. The universe has enough for everyone. We don't need to snatch and damage their life to fulfill our own desires. People have the right not to judge as per our wish, decisions, or commands, even if the change would benefit nobody but them. A place this wears down everything, and tolerance is no exception. You do not learn to like something you dislike. You come with it, you leave and let leave, and eventually that becomes enough. We have the freedom to live and let live, to love and let love, reading ourselves that freedom is one of the healthiest, most constructive thing we can do for ourselves and the people who matters to us. Mahatma Gandhi said, the only way to live is to let live others. Live and let live. Do not judge the people. Take the life as it comes, and everything will be fine. Over to you, the Toastmaster Ankita ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Let us please have 1 minute.
Timer, you can give a 1 minute red card after 1 minute.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I will do.
Hello. Thank you, Toastmaster Shivanand. Let us now move forward. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight our next contestant number 3, Suhas. May I now request the host to please unmute the contestant. Youth leader Suhas, please check your audio and video by saying "What a beautiful day" and please pin the timer.
What a beautiful day.
Have you pinned the timer?
Toastmaster Ankita, he is very feeble. I'm not able to hear him.
Can you repeat?
The time. I have pinned.
Can you repeat after me? What a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Youth leader Suhas, hard work and determination makes one successful. Hard work and determination makes one successful. Youth leader Suhas. You can begin.
Good evening, my fellow youth leaders, respected Toastmasters, honorable guests, and judges. Today, as Suhas will teach on hard work and determination makes one successful. I would like to break this winning formula into easy. First, let us look to the four nuggets, that is hard work, road to success, determination, and personal sacrifice. So let us move to the first nugget, that is road to success. Everyone's hearts wants to be the best at something. The brain, the soul, and the heart, who does not want to be ordinary but extraordinary. These words come from the roots of our country's heritage. So there are many ordinary people in our country who have dreams and have hard work to achieve it. So I want all of you to set this point in your mind so that you can become successful in your life. So let us come to the second nugget, that is hard work. If you did not do hard work in any of your field, like football, CA, and many other fields are there. If you did not did hard work, you will not reach the goal at any cost. So how much it will take? It depends on your goal and greatness. So let us come to the third nugget, that is determination. If you have no determination, but you have did hard work, you will not reach the goal also at any cost. So now let's come to some examples. So the first example is of Sachin Tendulkar. If he had no determination to hit sixes and centuries, then he could not be called as the cricket god of cricket in the Indian cricket team and the whole world, I think. Let's come to another example. I have a swimming pool beside my building. There was the opening of the swimming pool. Our owner of the builder had called the best swimmer of Belgaum and has reached the national level of swimming competition, that is Raghavendra Anvekar. So, but he had a disadvantage. He has no legs, but too he can swim. Can you imagine it? How much hard work does he have? So Let's come to another example of the same kind. That is, we have a dancer in our Indian community who is Sudha Chandran. She also has no leg. She has lost her legs in an accident, but too she can dance. Now let's do a story, a small story. There was a small boy who was going to a school, but he was removed by the principal of the school because he was not doing well in the exams and other things. So, but her mother did not told the boy that he was removed from the school because of he was not doing well. But the mother told him that you are a genius, so you were removed from the school. So he thought, really, mother? Then he gone thinking he was a genius, and after a few years, he invented the electrical bulb. Now you all have understand who is it. So at the end of my speech, I would like to end with a quote: dreams do not come true with magic, it comes through your hard work and determination. Thank you.
Thank you,
Over to you,
Suhas.
contest master.
Thank you, Suhas. Let's have 1 minute silence. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight youth leader Yashaswini. May I now request the host to please unmute the contestant. I request youth leader Yashaswini to please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day," and please pin the timer.
What a beautiful day. Yeah, 1 second. I'll just spin the timer. Yes. What a beautiful day.
Yeah, Ankita, go ahead.
Youth leader Yashaswini, unique world. Unique world, youth leader Yashaswini.
Thank you. You're unique. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Have the courage to stand unique. Don't you think this is an underrated quote? Good evening to all the esteemed Toastmasters and precious youth leaders. When I was at the perfect age where I could get anything I wanted just with my stubbornness, the glorious age of 9, I was attending music classes as well as Bharatanatyam classes. It was 2017, the age where internet went viral in the Indian society. Many people had access to the different happenings in the world. My friends were mostly 2 years older than me, all ready for their teenage, easily influenced by the tiniest things possible. So, as you might have guessed, they all ditched classical Indian art and started embracing Western art. They joined Western dance classes. They told me stories of what happened in their dance class. I was kind of jealous, and I also wanted to join the Western dance class. So I stopped both my Bharatanatyam and Carnatic music classes. I was good at singing. I had talent in that field. My mother tried to make me understand that I have a different talent. But me, I told my mom, it was old, mom, only insane people do those things. I joined Western dance classes. After just a week, I lost interest in it because I had no talent in that field. In fact, I was better at Bharatanatyam. Now I give classical music concerts. Let me narrate to you another incident. It was 2018. Me and my mom were standing in the reception waiting area of Sadashiv Nagar Club. My mother was talking with the receptionist about the fee structure of my tennis classes. Everyone was speaking in English, all hi-fi, and my mother was conversing in Kannada. So I looked up to my mom and told her, Amma, don't speak in Kannada, speak in English. We sound like villagers. Now, when I think about it, I'm sorry, Amma. There is discrimination in all areas. It might be caste, gender, religion, or class. We live our life in fear and jealousy when we fail in achieving the destiny of our life. Even that 9-year-old couldn't escape it. The materialistic stereotypes will constantly try to drag you down. You're a boy, don't cry like a girl. You're a girl, you should not go outside. You're not capable of it. You are still young. You can't bring a change in this world. No one will listen to you. You are black. You can't become an entrepreneur. You can just work below someone. If you're human, you will have heard something like this, isn't it? We all have. These are small obstacles that you might have to face. Don't let them destroy your dreams. There is a time in every man's education where he arrives at a conviction that envy is ignorance, that imitation is suicide, that he must take himself for better, for worse, at his proportion. That though this wide universe is full of good, no seed of nourishing corn can come to him but through his toil bestowed on that plot of ground that was given to him to till. The power which resides in him is new in nature, and none but he knows what that is which he can do, nor does he know until he is tried. Not for nothing, one face, one character, one fact makes such impression on him, and another, none. This sculpture in the memory is not without pre-established harmony. The eye was placed where one ray should fall, that it might testify of that particular ray. We but half express ourselves. We are ashamed of the divine idea each of us represents. It may be safely trusted as proportionate and of good issues, so it be faithfully imparted. But God will not have his work done manifest by cowards. A man or a woman is relieved when he or she has put his or her heart into their work and done their best. But what they have said or done otherwise shall give them no peace. It is a deliverance which does not deliver. An attempt of his genius deserts him. No muse befriends, no invention, no hope. So I sincerely request you that for your own good, don't fall into the cave of materialistic discrimination. When you know you can, you will. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Like a beautiful thought quoted by Leon Brown. One day you will realize that material things mean nothing. All that matters is the well being of yourself and the people in your life. Be unique, treat people with kindness. Thank you. Over to you,
Thank you, Youth Leader
Ankita, ma'am.
Yashaswini.
Thank you.
Timer, please note 1 minute of silence. Thank you, Toastmaster Shivanand. I request the Zoom Master to please spotlight contestant number 5, Youth Leader Preetham. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant. Youth Leader Preetham, please check your audio and video by saying what a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day.
Can you repeat that again, please?
What a beautiful day.
Yeah, please. It's fine, Ankita.
Have you pinned the timer?
Yes.
Youth Leader Preetham, the game of life. The game of life, Youth Leader Preetham.
Life is a game. The happy people are the players and the unhappy people are the spectators. Which one would you like to be? Contest chair, fellow youth leaders, all the senior Toastmasters and guests. A very warm good evening to one and all. In the pandemic time of COVID-19, I have settled for a game of snakes and ladders, much against the wishes of everyone in the family. With the board spread and tokens ready, it was time to fight. The choice of the colored tokens. Who wants what? Being a head of the family, my father took the privilege to choose his colors first. But being a queen on board, my mother gave a look of authority to my father and made sure she took the colors first. All set and ready to roll the dice. And when most of us were starting to start the move on board, my mother hit a 6 and landed 4 rows above all of us. I'm sure we all have experienced this situation, which pinches deeply inside our hearts. Why was I not able to hit a 6 and why others? This initiated the thoughts, tagging this game to life. The game of snakes and ladders, an early morality game played in ancient India since 1892, in which the virtue was rewarded and the wise was punished. The game was rolling, so was my thinking. Everyone gets an equal chance to make their move. The ladders in the game represent virtues such as position, generosity, faith, humility, etc. And the snakes represent vices such as anger, murder, desires, theft, etc. We see many snakes than ladders, but is it that we get a chance to climb the ladder? With so few ladders and so many people wanting to get to the ladder before anyone can is in itself a snake, isn't it? Many times we try to reach a ladder just to meet another snake, and different one each time, landing us below from where we started. Many people play this game just for fun, but there are some life lessons to be learned. Well, let's do that now. Point number 1, patience. The most annoying part of this game is to wait and wait and wait for your next turn. But what I have realized is that while you're waiting for your next turn, you can strategize and design your next moves. And also, patience can be a point of relaxation for your next attempt. Point number 2, planning. Though it is just a game, snakes and ladders can be played with a lot of tactical moves. The life lesson here is that life's steps should be planned accordingly and not just live them out without conscious efforts to reach your goals. Point number 3, focus. We all have our own purposes in life, and anything which is away from that purpose should not be your main focal point. The game was still on, like life. Persistent effort to reach the top and finish the running game. Over others, just to reach that end square is a new beginning. The one who reached first wants to try reaching it again. And for the loser, it's a challenge to reach the top and defeat the winner. Because the game of life just can't stop. The snake always bites, be it a winner or a loser. Contest chair.
Thank you, Preetham. I request the timer for 1 minute of silence. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 6, Pavitra. May I now request the host to please unmute the contestant. Contestant, please pin the timer. Please check your audio and video check by saying what a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day.
Can you say that while standing and not bending down in the way you will give your speech like that? Yeah, stand there and could you just say it again?
Yes, sir. What a beautiful day.
Yeah, fine.
Youth
leader Pavitra strikes their significance. Strikes their significance, youth leader Pavitra.
A warm good evening to one and all present in the 7th session of the Toastmasters Youth Leader Program. My hearty greetings to all the Toastmasters and youth leaders. I, Youth Leader Pavitra M. Hallatnavar, stands before you to present a speech on the topic, strikes their significance. A saint was once asked, what is anger? He gave a beautiful answer. It is a punishment that we give to ourselves for somebody else's mistake. Now that quote relates so much to the topic that I've chosen. As it goes, strikes their significance. I would like to conduct a small Q&A round. I ask all the Toastmasters and youth leaders to actively participate in it. So I would like anyone who would want to talk, who would want to answer the question to unmute their mics. The first question is, what is a strike? Everybody is free to volunteer. Anyone can answer.
A mistake made in your life is called a strike.
Okay.
A mistake is called a strike.
Okay, great. So the next question is, do you think strikes are a solution for the problem? If yes, why? And if no, Why?
Can I answer?
Yes, you can.
Yes, I feel that strikes, like she said, if strike is a mistake, then you can learn from mistakes because one learns from his own mistakes. Because I
That
don't
was,
think there is any other teacher in the world better than mistakes.
that was a great answer, Siddharth. So let me move to the third question. How do you think that you can replace strikes? Anyone? Okay, so let me answer this question for you. Strikes can be replaced by discussions. They can be replaced by approaching the authorities through representations and also keeping our jealousy aside. So let me now tell you how exactly strikes took birth in India. Okay, during the British rule, the strikes took birth in India. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, started the non-violence movement against the Britishers. He forced the Britishers to, fulfill his demands. He went on hunger strikes. He kept fasts so that the government could accept and respect his demands. In Noakhali, a place, he kept a fast for so long so that his opponents and his fellow men respect and also accept his demands. Now, strikes have become a part of life, right? Strikes mostly takes place in factories and offices. According to me, what is a strike? I would like to answer this question. A strike is to stop the work, thus hampering the production of the employer and also bringing major loss to him. Everything just stops, and then the employers strike together against the employer and asks for their demands. Now, after the recent news that I heard, the farmers all the way from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab have striked against the union government so that they could mount pressure on it and get their demands fulfilled, as their own state governments could not garner support for them. Now, strikes are just not limited to factories or offices. They have gone far also to schools, colleges, hospitals, and also government departments. I see there are schools and colleges, college students who often come up with strikes for the deduction in their portion and also postponing their exams just for their vested interests. Strikes can be misused like this. This should not happen. They stand against just to avoid the disturbance that is being caused by the students. The administration is compelled to bow before them and fulfill their demands. Often, the government employees go on a hike for their salaries for a strike. Now, a government with such meager resources, how could they fulfill their time and again? Thus, there is a need of promoting national character and also stop such things from coming into such unlawful strikes. Strikes should not be misused. They are an effective tool in the workers' hands. They are to be used properly by the workers. As I mentioned earlier, they should not be best interested by the students of the other schools or the colleges. Lastly, I would like to end my speech by quoting a few lines. Angry with someone? Think before you talk. If the person is junior to you, count up to 10 and then talk. If the person is of your age, count up to 30 and then talk. And if the person is elder to you, count up to 50 and then talk. Because with patience and perseverance, solutions can be found for problems. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Timer, please note a silence of 1 minute. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 7, Ananya. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant? Youth leader Ananya, please spin the timer. And please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day."
What a beautiful day.
Can you repeat that, please?
What a beautiful day.
Okay, good. Please carry on.
Youth leader
Thank you.
Ananya. Youth leader Ananya, what's the closest thing to magic? What's the closest thing to magic? Youth leader Ananya.
Thank you, contestant chair, for that astounding introduction. There's always this one friend who you know who's ever so zoned out. They appear to look so deep in thought, completely lost on a dwelling situation, and it makes you wonder what goes on in their head. Well, that zoned out alien creature is none other than me. Good evening to all the marvelous Toastmasters, enthralling mentors, and my fellow jovious youth leaders. Logic can take you from A to Z, but imagination, oof, it'll take you everywhere. Some of you may say to be more realistic, but little do they know that inside my head, I'm living in a parallel universe where I'm a painter with superpowers, and whatever I paint comes swooshing out of the canvas. Or this other scenario where I'm stuck in a dream of this delusional world. We live on a blue planet, circling a ball of fire, and our moon, which is so beautiful, tours our planet affecting the seas. And you're telling me to be more realistic. Everything that was real was first imagined, right? My imagination runs so wild and vivacious that reality can be quite disappointing at times. Being the black sheep of the family, where everyone's so spontaneous and lively and living in the moment, except for me, I was this creature belonging to a completely different species called the quiet, shy, and ideal child of the family. I would prefer to be called the moon child. The moon, who is so magical yet the most beautiful healer. Nights where the moon is a whole and I'm sitting on my swing with serene music connected to my ears, that feeling is so heavenly that my soul craves. We artists are quite simple people with a complex mind. And I'm sure most of you artists can relate when I say, when it comes to art, that it is so very important to not hide the madness that goes on in your head. As they say, paintings are silent poetry. So, what is the closest thing to magic? All of you can guess by now that it is the power of imagination. It is so strong that it can take you to places that don't even exist. There is this little voice inside your head where most of you might call it your conscience, but I would like to call it the little Ananya. Well, it has this power where it tells you what is right and what is wrong, but it is also held responsible for our dreams and nightmares and our crazy imaginations. Well, if you could experiment with yourself a little bit, I ask you to get inside your brain and talk to yourself. No, it is not insane to talk to yourself. It's pretty healthy, if you would ask me. So go inside your head and search for something that makes you genuinely happy. And now that little voice inside your head popped up and said, "Oh yeah, that is true," right? So I urge you to let all those little Toastmasters, little mentors, and little to-be Toastmasters run wild. Let that child inside you live its vibrant self. Because when we are limitless, we become fearless, right? But we don't live in a perfect world, so don't expect anything to be perfect. All of us are proudly, imperfectly perfect. Try to give at least 15 minutes out of 1,440 in a day into something that will make you feel happy, that will make you euphoric. And do something in those 900 seconds that makes you irresistible to wait for the next dawn. I found my one true love, that is painting, a few months ago. And it was the most beautiful thing that has ever happened to me. And how did I know that it was the most beautiful thing to ever happen to me? Because I started looking for art in not only sceneries and views and materialistic things, but also in people and non-materialistic things. That is our surrounding environment. Finding art was like realizing that moment where you're so happy that you don't want it to end. Or it's like finding that moment where you relive the best moment of your life all over again. It was as if the stars accompanied the sun, which they missed so vulnerably. With a pastel blue soul and a thinking out of this world, this moonchild with starlit eyes loved the moon in the dark blue skies. This is what makes me myself. This is what makes you human. Please find what makes you yourself. Thank you. Over to a contest chair.
Thank you. Timer, please note 1 minute of silence. Thank you. May I now request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 8, youth leader Kirtana. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant. Youth leader Kirtana, please pin the timer.
Wait a minute. I'm not getting an option to pin him.
There are 3 dots. Just click on his name. You'll find 3 dots in the corner.
I'm only getting one option, which is chat. I'm not getting pin option.
Just go on his name and you'll get mute, and then you'll get 3 more dots.
Kirtana, Kirtana?
Yes, sir.
Just keep it in a gallery view and observe that. You may not be able to spotlight, pin him because you are being spotlighted. So.
Sir, I'm getting the same option.
Wait. Like now.
Please check your audio and video by saying "What a beautiful day."
What a beautiful day.
Yeah, Ankita, I'm fine with that.
Youth leader Kirtana, Vasudhaiva Kutambakam, Vasudhaiva Kutambakam, youth leader Kirtana.
I am Nija Paroveti, Ganana Laguchetasam, Udara Charitanantu, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Respected Toastmasters, distinguished guests, my dear fellow youth leaders, good evening to one and all present here. Now, let me tell the meaning of the above shloka. This is mine, that is his, say the small-minded. The wise believe that the entire world is a family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is a philosophy that inculcates an understanding that the entire world is one single family. This represents universal brotherhood. It consists of 3 Sanskrit words, Vasudha, Eva, and Kutumbakam. Vasudha means world, Eva means emphasizing, and Kutumbakam means family. The Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam concept had originated from Hitopadesha, Hitopadesha is a collection of Sanskrit fables in prose and verse. It is almost similar to Panchatantra. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam essentially states that we all are one big family who is originated from the same energy. The discrimination based on color, race, and religion were later developed as time passed on. In this age of darkness, that is Kali Yuga, there have been many such discriminations. We all are human beings, no matter our color, caste, race are different from each other, and we all have the same thing running through our veins, blood. This philosophy is also aligned to another philosophy, Paropakaratam idam shariram, which means the purpose of our life is to help others. Normally, we live for ourselves, our close family, and with selfish mind. We try to gain wealth at any cost and at the cost of others. However, as per this philosophy, we should live for others. The purpose of our life is to help others and not to expect from others. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam also helps us to promote another philosophy called forgiveness, kindness, and truthfulness. There are some people who kind of ill-treat the people who are economically poorer than them. These people have set their mind that let rich be rich, poor be poor. This egoistic, selfish feeling of theirs is wrong. If we start feeling that everyone belongs to us, we'll be able to forgive others, be kind to everyone, and live peacefully. The need to tell lies, to cheat others, goes away. Believing that the people of the entire world belong to us, all of our knowledge should be shared with others, and we should not live a selfish life. Let us walk together in harmony as one family. Many people do not think that is possible, but let's join hands and make it possible. Let us spread the knowledge of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which can reduce the fights, and by helping the poor, we can reduce the poverty. If we spread this pure knowledge, we won't fight between each other like cats and dogs, and it would also result in world peace and love for all. Let us inspire everyone and give birth to unity. As J.K. Rowling rightly said, we are only as strong as we are united, as weak as we are divided. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, please note 1 minute of silence. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 9, Niketana. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant? Youth leader Niketana, have you pinned the timer?
Yes, ma'am, I've pinned the timer.
Please check your audio and video by saying what a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day.
The speaker is. The speaker doesn't seem to be pinned. I'm getting 2 pins.
Ma'am, I
Kirtana,
need to repeat because of the spotlight, it again went away. So
no,
I'm just
1
repeating.
second. Yeah, I think Kirtana is still pinned, Ankita.
Okay.
You have to remove that pin.
The Zoom host, please can you spotlight Toastmasters youth leader Niketana?
Ma'am, just give me a second. It's like because of the spotlight, it keeps. Ma'am, I'm not able to pin the timer.
Can you please make a gallery view to yourself so that you can see the timer?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat the phrase after me? What a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day.
Yeah, I can hear you, but then the light from the background is slightly disturbing, Niketana. I don't think you can do much about it, so let's move forward.
Yes, yes, sir.
So are we good to go?
Yeah, we are good to go.
Youth leader Niketana, synthesis. Synthesis, youth leader Niketana.
Amma, book the cab quick, ma. We're getting late for the movie. Back in my day, I used to walk 2 kilometers to save 1 rupee 50 paise. Now and all, you get the cab with a click of a button. You kids don't know the value of money at all. How many of you have heard such things from your grandparents? Forget grandparents. How many of you have heard, Appa, I feel like having pizza. Can we order pizza, please? What? You just had pizza last week, man. You know, back in my day, you know what? I used to had to ask permission from my father even to watch TV, and I used to get 1 masal puri in 2 months. Can you even believe that? 1 masal puri in 2 months. You to get everything, and still you want to complain like this? We have all experienced the generation gap, haven't we? How the opinions of people change according to the generations. Good evening to all my fellow youth leaders, respected Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. I mean, I can't say that people from the same generation have all the same opinions and rules, but they can always share similar thoughts and views on certain things due to the same time period they've been brought up in. Like, for example, I could ask the same question to my grandparents, parents, and myself. There would be a noticeable change in views. So I thought, why not try that out to see the change? So I asked my grandfather, Tata, what do you think of discipline nowadays? Let us start again with the good old. Back in my day, this much of exposure was not there. Okay, and we used to respect our elders so much. Elders used to teach youngsters, not opposite. Nowadays, you see 4-year-old child will be clicking tap, 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 and he'll be going around. And we used to take our parents' advice for everything. Okay, anything and everything you do, you need to ask your parents' help and guidance. But nowadays, no discipline, no culture. So yeah, we used to wake up at one time. We used to go to the prayer temple. We used to pray and used to come back every morning. Nowadays, you people see no discipline at all. Like good manners and discipline is slowly deteriorating in this world, and I don't think this is going to improve also. I asked the same to my mother, and she said, we were a lucky generation to be free from the mobile, playing on the road without taking any appointments from our parents. We could go visit our friends' house at any time. We can't follow the discipline though. That is like doing the right, following a proper routine and maintaining it is not possible nowadays because of professional commitments. I feel that we just want to help raise your children and make you independent so that you can make your own decisions in the future. I think trying to maintain a balance in everything and not going to extremes, be it the usage of gadgets, bringing children, or having a healthy lifestyle. That is discipline. You can see the thought differences very clearly between the two generations. From not doing anything at any age without parents to being guided to make your own independent decisions. Now, if I see my generation, I feel that our life is way more pressure than the previous two generations because of tight schedules, extracurricular activities, keeping up with technological advancements, and one huge cost competition. We do everything in the world because of competition, isn't it? Rising competition, it goes up day by day. Like we are taught in school that um, we have to just pay attention, be good, be quiet, score good marks. We are not taught that discipline also requires letting loose and having fun at times at the right time. You need to maintain a balance of both things. We all have heard the saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. That's exactly what my opinion is. To conclude, I think that adaptation of technology is good, but we should not let go of our moral values and focus on being a good human being also. Because nowadays, with tech, we are connected yet disconnected from the world at the same time. So it's our choice whether we want connections with tech or no strings attached. So, my dear friends, we need to synthesize positive points from all the generations to live a better life filled with peace and harmony. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Ankita.
Thank you. Timer, please note 1 minute of silence. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 10, Tanish. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant? Youth leader Tanish, have you pinned the timer? Please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day." We are unable to hear you. We are still unable to hear you. We are still unable to hear you. Can you just unplug your microphone?
Tanish, remove the headphones. Remove the headphones.
Click on the microphone button and and click on the arrow mark that is visible there and select your same as the device. Select the option same as the device.
Have you
Yes.
removed the headphones from your laptop or the device? Have you disconnected the wire? All right.
Speak now. No, you're not. Click on the, check on your mute button. There is an arrow, up arrow. Can you see that, Tanish? Tanish?
No, we cannot
You are
hear you.
muted.
Tanish, you are muted. You are not unmute first.
No.
Listen to me, Tanish. Are you able to listen to me? Okay. Check your mute button. There is an up arrow is there. Can you see that up arrow? Click on that. You will get two options. First one is select a microphone. Click there, same as system. Then second one is select a speaker. Click on same as system for both.
Are you viewing from your computer or your mobile? Am I audible?
Tanish, where have you gone? Why?
Tanish, is it possible to you for to log in from another device?
Have you logged in from your computer or your cell phone? If it's on your computer, if you have not enabled the option of microphone for your desktop apps, then you'll not be able to speak. Your microphone will not be enabled.
Toastmaster Ankita, I think we can take
Discuss
Tanish.
with, or Chief Judge.
Sir, can
Yeah,
we take it?
Yeah, can we go for next?
Then yeah, let's go to the next one. I was about to say that. Let's go to the next speaker, and he can confirm that he's finished it, and he can let the contester know, and then we can pull him back maybe later.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ankita.
Yeah. So proceed to the next speaker, Ankita.
Yes, sir. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 11, Kashvi. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant? Youth leader Kashvi, please check your audio and video check by saying what a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day.
Have you pinned the timer?
Yes, ma'am, I've kept it in the gallery view.
Sir, are we good to go?
Could you just repeat again? Sorry.
What a beautiful day.
Yeah, I'm fine, Toastmaster Ankita.
Youth leader Kashvi, bibliophile. Bibliophile, youth leader Kashvi.
George R.R. Martin once quoted, "The man who reads lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who doesn't read lives only one." Good evening, senior Toastmasters, honorable judges, and fellow youth leaders. A book might only be a four-letter word. Open it once, and there's no end to your imagination. A book gives you the right and the opportunity to see and think from another person's point of view. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So did my journey to loving books began at this library called Just Books. I was only 9 years old when I first stepped into Just Books. Accelerated to begin my journey and stupefied with the number of books present over there. I have had my fair share of memories at Just Books, whether it was chatting with the old yet friendly librarian or whether it was giving myself a deadline to see how quickly I could finish a book. Well, there is one special memory that is quite close to me. Let me tell you about that memory. I learned my lesson on 17th August of 2018. I have always been restless when it comes out to finding what is going to happen on the next page, the chapter, or even the next book. I was reading The Haunted Museum that I forgot that I was climbing the stairs. I missed a step and came down tumbling. Exactly how Jack came tumbling down the hill. Curiosity killed the cat. Well, for the very first time in my life, I had fractured my hand. People are only familiar with this saying that curiosity killed the cat. There is another half to it, and let me complete it for you. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction is what brought it back to life. And I was indeed satisfied with the ending of the story that I didn't mind my fractured hand. Books. My parents not only had to handle me, they had to bear my over dramatic gasps whenever the protagonist would do something crucial in the book, or my loud screeches at any point of the day whenever a new plot twist would appear. Well, children usually fall in trouble for not doing their homework or playing excessive video games. Well, I fall in trouble because of reading. Yes, you heard me right. I have fallen in trouble because of reading. There is one specific incident that I still remember. I was so hooked on to reading the book Insurgent. I was in the middle of the book and was so hooked on to it that I forgot it was 11 o'clock in the night, past my bedtime. Well, my parents thought that innocent Kashfi was sleeping. Well, here I was, breaking the rules, reading the book with the help of a torchlight. Reading and reading, when suddenly the evil sidekick helped that main protagonist to solve the problem. I screeched loudly, and my parents came running into my room, thinking something bad had happened. The look on their faces held disappointment, a little bit of anger, and a little bit of humor. It was the worst week of my life. You must be wondering whether I had to do maths or didn't get to play. Well, you're absolutely wrong. I didn't get to read. It was absolutely torturous for me to not touch a book while it was right in front of me and find out what was going to happen next. Books that teach you something, they leave a value or a lesson. And so did this trilogy called the Divergent Trilogy, which is included with Insurgent and Allegiant, taught me something. This trilogy is written by Veronica Roth. And this trilogy is taken place in the post-future apocalyptic dystopian Chicago, where everything is in the ruins. And our main character has to deal with herself and understand how life is. Going through the chapter of going through this book called Life, she learns that
She's different, quite different. Nobody can control her. She learns new things every single day. There are 5 factions in this book. And the first faction is amity, the kind, abnegation, the selfless, candor, the truthful, erudite, the intelligent, and dauntless, the strong. I've always admired the dauntless, for they are strong and brave act. If only I knew that it isn't always okay to be brave. It is fine to have few tears in your eyes. And that was exactly how I was by the end of the 3rd book. In tears, a sobbing mess, just because Beatrice Pryor, our main character, had died in the book, saving her backstabbing brother. I was in awe with the character of Beatrice, that how could somebody be so forgiving? I too learned that I need to start, be forgiving, be selfless. Well, this is what this trilogy taught me. I could keep on ranting about books to you, but unfortunately, I've got only a specific time limit. Thank you so much for listening to me. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankita ma'am.
Thank you. Timer, please note 1 minute of silence. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 12, Hiranmai. I may request the host to please unmute the contestant. Youth leader Hiranmai, have you pinned the timer?
Can you see the timer on your screen?
Yeah, yeah.
You can
I'm
see.
already pinned, sir.
Okay, good.
Okay. Please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day."
What a beautiful day. Ma'am, can I start?
Chief Judge, are we good to go?
Yeah, we are good to go.
Youth leader Hiranmai, as you sow, you shall reap. As you sow, you shall reap. Youth leader Hiranmai.
Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, my mentors, and my friends. This is Youth Leader Hiranmai. My speech title for today's special session will be As You Sow, So Shall You Reap. So, today's session is very special, but my topic isn't so special. It's a very common proverb. Even kids use this proverb. But there is some goodness in it, which all of us can learn from this small phrase of words. So, as you sow, so shall you reap. What can we understand from this proverb? Do we literally have to sow something and get the report of it? Technically, we don't have to sow anything and get the report of it to understand this proverb. We can take day-to-day scenario. For example, I sow carrot seeds and expect oranges out of it. Can it happen? Can I get oranges out of carrot seeds? Obviously, I can't. Likewise, if we do good to others, even we can expect goodness in our life. But if we keep on spilling fire and curses in others' life, we get back the same fire and curses in our plate. On this occasion, I would like to narrate a story from Mahabharata to all of you. Mahabharata, one of the epics of India. Everybody knows about Mahabharata. So let's just take a short recap
from this epic. There are two princely teams of a large royal family from Kuru dynasty. One team has the Pandavas, the heroes and the righteous people, princes, whereas the other team has the Kauravas, the wicked and unrighteous princes, and they're the villains. The Pandavas are five brothers born to King Pandu and his queens Kunti and Madri. And Yudhishthira is the eldest Pandava. Whereas the Kauravas were 100 brothers born to King Dhritarashtra and his wife Gandhari. And Duryodhana is the eldest Kaurava. Since the Kauravas were the villains, they obviously disliked the Pandavas and they left no stone unturned to make sure that the Pandavas were wiped out of existence so that the Kauravas could usurp the throne. So finally, the Kauravas and their maternal uncle Shakuni came up with a plan to end the fight for the throne by permanently exiling the Pandavas to the forest, which they actually did later. As Pandavas would have it, they were invited for a game of dice. According to Shakuni's plan, master plan, there Shakuni used his cunningness and slowly he started defeating Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira, out of sheer desperation, put his kingdom, wealth, money, brothers, wife, and even himself at stake and lost the game badly. So, as decided earlier, they were exiled. The Pandavas were exiled to the forest for a period of 13 years. 12 years normal exile and 1 year incognito. Also, they didn't just stop at that. They went ahead and disgraced and insulted Draupadi in the royal court. It was such a huge embarrassment. As you saw, so shall you reap. Let's see what happened later. Now, let me take you directly to the war scene. After the Pandavas suffered 30 years in the forest, honestly, they were denied their rightful kingdom and the war had to commence. So the war commenced between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, but there were many mediations and mediators. And Lord Krishna was the mediator from Team Pandavas. Although the Almighty Lord wanted peace negotiations, the Kauravas demanded bloodshed and they even insulted Lord Krishna. So with no other go, Yudhishthira had to say yes to the war. But before that, he wanted to consult his family members and also hear their decisions. When he asked his beloved wife Draupadi, all the insects fluttered out to her, started rolling in front of her eyes. And she said, I want war. Remember the disgrace I had to face in the royal court? I want to avenge my insults. Yudhishthira tried to convince Draupadi, but she was hell-bent on her decision about the war. Next, it was Lord Krishna's turn. He said, Draupadi, my sister, please let go of your desire for this bloodshed. You believe in me, don't you? Hence, I promise you that you will have your revenge, even without this bloodshed. Draupadi remained steadfast to her decision. So finally, the war started and ended on the 18th day, and even Duryodhana was killed. And after all this huge loss of life from both the sides, there was yet another big shock waiting for the Pandavas. The Upa-Pandavas, the sons of the Pandavas, were killed by Ashwatthama, Duryodhana's best friend. So you might think, why did Ashwatthama kill the Upa-Pandavas? Let me tell you. When Duryodhana laid on the ground, half dead, after having eaten Bhima's fierce blows, wanted to see the Pandavas dead before he breathed his last. Hence, when Ashwatthama asked his friend about his last wish, he replied to him that he wanted to see all the Pandavas dead before his eyes. So, Ashwatthama promised Duryodhana that he himself would kill all the Pandavas for himself, all the Pandavas himself, and deliver the good news to him. So, in the night, he crept into the camp of the Pandavas and killed the Upa-Pandavas, mistaking them to be the Pandavas. Destruction of young lives. There stops the dynasty. So we all saw the mistakes of Kauravas, didn't we? As our action is from greed or jealousy, the same will be the reaction from the other end. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, please note a silence of 1 minute. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 13, Siddharth. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant? Siddharth, have you pinned the timer?
Yes, Toastmaster Ankita. I've pinned the
Please,
timer.
please check your audio and video by saying what a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day. 1 second.
Yeah, it's fine.
Youth leader Siddharth,
Yes.
down the lane. Down the lane, youth leader Siddharth.
Yeah. Life we thought was a road trip with our friends and families. Life we thought was a road trip with our friends and families, but it turns out to be full of tests given by God. If you know the answer, you nod. If you don't know the answer, you can stop. But if you don't stop, you have a rope and you have a fan to stop it once and for all. Good evening to all the youth leaders, judges, and respected Toastmasters. Today, I am youth leader Siddharth Gajpur, going to talk about something what our society thinks I should not talk about, which is teen suicide. It is not a humorous speech at all this time, because I'm going to talk about something which is major issue in our community, society, communities. Because did you know that in every hour there's a teen like me suiciding, committing suicide? Or did you even know that just in India, there are minimum amount of 28 cases of children committing suicide every single day? That's disturbing to me. And even more disturbing is that's just India. Think about Asia. Think about the whole world. After hearing this first, you would think, hey, why are these teens having this, man? What do they have to do? They don't have to work hard in the sun and put food on the table of their children. No, they don't have to. But there is something which is beyond that. Why do you think anybody commits suicide or teen commits suicide basically? Anyone can unmute and tell me. Because here we are youth leaders and we can, I think, tell. Share our experiences. Anybody
Stress
can unmute.
from
Guilt.
stress from studies, maybe.
Yeah.
Guilt is the main
Easily.
issue.
Yeah, one of the reasons for stress for studies, I expect.
Failures?
Depression.
Yeah, depression is something. Yeah, great. Because studying because we have lot to study, of course. Or in some families or some children who are unlucky, they have a fiend in their family who is drunk every night and hits his children, daughter. That causes depression, which is a major reason because we don't talk about depression. All the parents who think that their child is not in depression, I think you're wrong. Every single parent asks their children that how was your day after they are back from school. Some children are working, so they ask them at their dinner table, how was your day? How did everything go? We say good, happy, everything, it's all right. But did any of the Toastmasters here who are parents ask their child, were you bullied in the school? Random day, you ask them, were you bullied in the school? Or did you bully somebody? If they're bullied, they will not tell you, of course. But someday, if they're depressed, a person like me who is jolly was depressed in lockdown. You would ask, why were you depressed? You're so funny. You have so many friends. Yeah, I'm the vice captain of the school, so I have friends, of course. But I don't have any best friends. I don't have any friends. If I'm in depression, to text or to call, as Niketana said, we have a facility. Youth leader Niketana said has a facility to text, to call everyone. But we don't, because we don't have that much of courage inside us. We don't have that much of courage. Go on to our parents and tell them, Mama and Dada, can I talk you for 1 second and tell you what's going on inside me? And if they even do, parents are not free always because they have to put food on your table. Yes. And we cannot blame them, of course, because 1 second. I've unpinned the timer again. Yes. They are nobody to blame. And you would ask me, why was I in depression in lockdown? Because I thought that I would join social media. I would text my friends, I would call my friends all the time. I will chat them online because Corona is new. Let's try something new. So I opened social media, I opened an account. But then every single day, I started feeling depressed because the children of my age were doing great things. Like, for example, Millie Bobby Brown. Many of you might not know her, but after the session, you can Google her. She's a great actress. She's she's my age, completely my age, not 1 year elder. She's my age and she's earning probably more than my father. It's not about earning. She's giving speeches in UN. She is great now, I think. And she's better than me. And I saw this and I was depressed. I didn't know what to do. Then this, and as a great thought says, you get the best thought when you are in your darkest times. So I got this thought that if today I take the rope or take the knife and finish my life, oh, my pain will be gone. Then I thought that if tomorrow in the newspaper my parents read about or any family member reads about me that 13-year-old Siddharth Gajbar was found hung in his house, how will they feel? They will be shattered. And I know it because I've seen parents being shattered. I've seen they cannot live. And that's what is very depressing because kids like us take up steps without thinking even about it. So I personally feel, please talk to your parents, please talk to your friends if you're in depression. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, please note 1 minute of silence. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 14, Shruti. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant. While Shruti, have you pinned the timer?
Just a second, ma'am. Yeah.
Please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day."
What a beautiful day. Can I start?
Yeah, Shruti, can you repeat that, please?
What a beautiful day.
Yeah, I'm fine, Ankita. You can go ahead.
Youth leader Shruti, an idea can change the world. An idea can change the world. Youth leader Shruti.
Can I start?
Yes, you can start.
A wise man once said, necessity is the most important factor of all inventions. Everything begins with an idea. Don't you agree with me? This speech too began with an idea. Once, a couple of days back, I was pondering over what I should write in my speech when my mother asked me whether I wanted a cone ice cream and whether I had started scripting my speech. Bingo! I had the idea of my speech. Did you know that our
famous and favorite ice cream cone had a very humble beginning in 1904? The girlfriend of an ice cream vendor wrapped a wafer around her ice cream stick to prevent it from dripping on her clothes. Little did she know that her ingenious idea is still remembered and followed in the 21st century. Girls are, in fact, very ingenious. Don't you agree with me? As I finished my ice cream cone, I opened my science textbook to read a very boring chapter on combustion and flame. As I trudged along, something in the text caught my eye. Have you ever wondered how an ancient man used to rub stones like this to create a fire? Have you ever wondered how tedious it is to create just a small fire? Thanks to chemistry and a chemist of the early 1800 who noticed that one of his cardboard matches had caught some substance on it. And he tried to scrape it off, it caught fire. This invention also helped us to see that life is so much easier without electricity. He first sold these matches initially, but later replaced them with 3-inch long wooden matches, which were sold along with a piece of sandpaper to light them. Today, matches come in boxes, like how you know, with sandpaper on two opposite sides. The science chapter was no longer boring, as I had my favorite snack to munch on. Have you ever wondered how terrible life would be without a favorite snack? But have you wondered how it came into this world? Did you know that New York chef George Crumb, who got several customer complaints that his French fries were not crispy enough? Crumb, being totally frustrated, decided to slice his potatoes as thin as he possibly could, deep fry them in boiling hot oil, and slather them with salt. He did not think that people would like this recipe, but much to his amazement, people went crazy with this recipe. Today, potato chips are in over 200 different flavors and delicious. Hope you're not getting a headache with my speech, because if you are, I have something for you. Did you know that this was once upon a time used to treat headaches? A pharmacist named John Pemberton was once trying to combine coca leaves and cola nuts into a syrup. This syrup went into the market in 1886. This syrup was first initially supposed to be mixed with water, but by accident, a seller mixed it with cola instead. That is how the refreshing and our favorite drink got found. Well, proceeding further, inventions become perfect by slow improvement, and each step is in itself an invention. Some people see innovation as change, but in reality, it's just about making things better. So if you ever get a good idea, don't hold yourself back. You never know what you might come up with. A good idea becomes a great idea when you let it out. So I would like to conclude by saying that it's not just about ideas, it's about making ideas happen. So just go out there, unleash your ideas, and don't forget to make them a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, please note silence of 1 minute. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 15, Saish. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant. Youth leader Saish, please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day." Have you pinned the timer?
I'll pin.
Please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day."
What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day.
Ankita, I have a lot of issues with the video. Is it my problem or how is it?
So it is visible to me. Can you repeat, Saish, what a beautiful day?
What a beautiful day.
Okay. Where you're going to sit and give the speech, or you're going to stand and give the speech?
I'll sit and give.
You're going to sit and give a speech. Okay, fine. Then go ahead.
Good evening, all respected.
Youth leader Saish, my life, my goals. My life, my goals. Youth leader Saish, you can start.
Good evening, everybody. All respected toastmasters and all lovable youth leaders. Today, I'm going to give you a speech on my life, my goal. This is my life, my story, my book. I will no longer let anyone else write it, nor I apologize for the edits I make. By Steve Maraboli, a motivational speaker of America. Do you know if Dhoni would have listened to his father, he would not be a cricketer because his father wanted him to be a lawyer. But he did not leave his goal and his plan for his life. He practiced cricket, and due to his hard work and his strong decision to be a cricketer, he achieved it, and now he's the famous cricketer of the world, well known for his coolness in the matches and wicket keeping. And do you know about Goodyear, who was the father who gave the world the technique of how to make rubber hard? It is used in making tires. He struggled a lot to make the rubber hard. He worked as a coolie and brought rubbers and would try to make it hard. But once when he went to bring the rubber, when the shopkeeper was giving him the rubber, it fall into the sulfur, where it fall into the boiling sulfur, and the shopkeeper suddenly picked up the rubber piece and gave it to him. When he saw the surface which was fallen on the boiling sulfur was become black, and he asked, as the part of rubber was damaged, he asked the shopkeeper to give some extra part of the rubber, and he took it home, and he saw that the part which was fallen on the sulfur was hard, and he understood that he understood the technique how to make the rubber strong. And now his ancestors, now he is assessors are the rich, are the owners of the world's largest tire producing company, Goodyear Tires. Because he did not leave his goal to change, even though he faced circumstances in his life. Now let me take example of my life. When I was of first standard, I asked my father to send that I want to learn skating. My father always motivated me and he sent me to Belgavi for the skating class, and I learned it and I contested in a district level skating competition. And further, at class 7, I was embraced with cricket, and my father sent me to cricket coaching. And then when I was at 8, I was interested to learn Sanskrit. When my father helped me to learn Sanskrit in my school, and my now when I wanted to be a leader and a good communicator, my father sent me to YLP program to learn about the public speaking and and about how to be a successful businessman. I would like to end my speech by saying that there is no real ending. It's just the place where you stop. The where you stop the story by Frank Herbert. Thank you. Over to Ankita ma'am.
Toastmaster Ankita, is there?
Timer, please note 1 minute of silence. Thank you. I request Zoom Master to please spotlight contestant number
Ankita, you're having some network connectivity
Aradhya.
issues here.
I may request the host to
Ankita, you were having some network connectivity issues. Is it sorted out? I mean, you're coming very slow. Or did I feel it, or is it my problem? I don't know.
No, sir, it is the network connectivity issue.
Okay, fine. Now that's been sorted out. Okay, go ahead.
Aradhya, please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day."
What a beautiful day.
It's fine, Ankita. You can go ahead.
Youth leader Aradhya. Love is
Yes, ma'am.
colorblind. Love is colorblind. Youth leader Aradhya. You can begin.
Good evening, senior Toastmasters, guests, and my fellow youth leaders. When I was in 7th standard, our sections of the school got sorted out by the criteria of percentage, like the students who scored between 70 to 80% in the 6th standard in one section and others in other sections. The students in the sections between 60 to 70% were mostly dark in color. If they were my friends or weren't, I stopped talking to them because I thought that they all were failures and they smelled bad, and I started hating them. Yes, I started hating them. One afternoon, when it was the time of boarding our buses back to our homes, I saw a very inspirational incident which I would be telling you all right now. I saw that two girls were returning from school, just hanging out and conversing. Out of those, the skin color of both the girls was same, fair. After some time, mother of one of those girls came to pick her up, just like parents pick their children up from school. The girl asked her mother in a casual way, "Can my friend stay in our home for the night?" The mother was like, "Okay, she can do. I just want to talk to her mother." The other girl said that she can be here any moment. The following time, the mother of the other girl came. The skin color of that woman was dark. So the mother of the first girl questioned that, "Are you a maid, driver, or something else?" The dark colored lady questioned, "Why? This happens to me all the time." With a sigh, the dark colored lady replied, "I am her mother." The mother of the first girl wasn't able to believe that how can a lady of dark skin tone be a mother of a fair skin tone girl, because a daughter of the dark skin tone mother should also be dark toned. Then the first mother, the fair toned mother, saw the guard of the school and said that, "See, this lady is kidnapping this girl. Please help, help." So the guard came and asked the dark colored lady for a parent ID. The lady showed this parent ID, and this by the ID, it was identified that she was the only mother of that fair colored child and her legal guardian. The fair colored mother was still confused, and then the dark colored mother said that she adopted this girl. So you all see in this short story, a very important message is hidden. Any guesses? The message I wanted to convey from this short story of my own is love is colorblind. I urge you all present here virtually to never discriminate anyone by the color of their skin. When I came back home, I told my parents about this incident that happened to me in the school, and they said, "Yes, you are totally correct. You should never discriminate anyone by the color of their skin." They told me this statement in a very elucidating way. The next day, when I went to my school, the first thing I did was to start talking to the friends I started ignoring, and another incident happened. Oh, so many incidents. And that incident took my breath away. Like I told you earlier, I started ignoring them, but they spoke to me like nothing happened. We all were still good friends, and they were like, "Okay, you are our friend, so we don't mind. You can talk to us." This story changed my approach of thinking. I hope it will change yours approach of thinking. And I would like to remind you all that never discriminate anyone by the color of their skin. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Ankita, ma'am.
Timer, please note the silence of 1 minute.
Ankita?
Hello.
Yes, Ankita.
Yeah.
We move back to our first contestant, Krupal. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 1, Krupal. May I request the host to please unmute the contestant? Krupal, please check your audio and video by saying, "What a beautiful day."
What a beautiful day.
We can hear an echo.
Just give me a second. What a beautiful day.
So is it fine?
No, there is still an echo. I'm not sure why that is.
What a beautiful day.
Yeah, that's better. Ankita, you can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Youth leader Krupal, the effects of peer pressure. The effects of peer pressure. Youth leader Krupal, you can start.
If you follow the crowd, you might get lost in it. Good evening, distinguished judges, respected Toastmasters, diligent guests, and all my fellow youth leaders. Today, I'll be speaking about a very major issue that affects a teen's behavior when they grow up. During the morphosis from a teen to an adult, I'm sure all of us have gone through peer pressure. Let's describe peer pressure. Peer pressure is when you are influenced by your friends into something that you normally wouldn't do. But sometimes it can be for the good and sometimes it can be for the bad. I'll start by describing the four types of peer pressure. So for now, we can take the candidate on whom the peer pressure is being applied as Tom. Negative peer pressure. Tom's friends forced him into something that isn't good for him. Positive peer pressure. Tom's friend Jerry applied pressure on him to study, and Tom got good marks, mostly because of Jerry's good influence. Spoken peer pressure. Jerry persuaded Tom by talking him into going with him to the movie. Unspoken peer pressure. The pressure when Tom was influenced by the actions of his friends and had to take a decision. Well, there is one particular incident in my life that has impacted me very deeply and very much to spread the message about the ill effects of negative peer pressure. This is an incident where my very own close friend, whom I actually admire for his artistic skills, started using vulgar language just to gain acceptance from seniors and the so-called cool kids group. He started using vulgar language and tried to look cool. But one thing he forgot is his actual self. And from the day he changed, that was the end of our friendship. There are also good instances of peer pressure. I have a very smart and a very intelligent friend. His name is Venkatramana. He is also very lazy and unpunctual. And his handwriting is shabby too. Even with all such faults and setbacks, he is so intelligent. He's one of the sharpest kids among the other boys, and to specify, he was more like a sibling to me. Many times he didn't bring lunch during Saturday, and I used to tell my mom, "Amma, Venkat doesn't bring lunch. Can you pack some for him too?" And my mother used to pack lunch for him too. And we bonded every Saturday like this. Here is a small incident of me applying peer pressure on Venkat to write his notes. Venkat, did you complete your maths assignment? What assignment? I don't remember any assignment. The assignment which Usha gave us. Remember the assignment about factorization? And we had to do all those sums. No, I don't remember any assignment. Yeah, you're telling about that assignment, right? I'll complete it during the lunch break. The bell rings, and during the lunch break, he doesn't even write, and I started to throw a temper tantrum because he'll get punished if he doesn't write. So I started telling, if you don't write now, Venkat, I'm not speaking to you at all. So then he started trying to persuade me to speak with him, and he started writing his notes. I called out the sums and he started writing. Later that day, he still got scolded because of his shabby handwriting. Well, there are many things in Mother Nature, both harmful and helpful to the human race, and they can be taken in either way. It's just how you perceive it. Like, I can see a 6 towards me when I look at a number, whereas you can see a 9 when you look towards it in a different direction. But the choice is yours. You either give in to negative peer pressure or hold your ground and stand still. Don't give in to negative peer pressure. Well, I just want to say one thing. Make sure you are not saying no to yourself when you are saying yes to others. Over to you, contest chair, Toastmaster Ankita ma'am.
Timer, please note silence of 1 minute. Thank you. I request the Zoom master to please spotlight contestant number 10, Tanish. I may request the host to please unmute the contestant. Tanish, please check your. Youth leader Tanish, please check your audio and video by saying what a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day.
Ankita, good to go.
Yes, sir. Youth leader Tanish, traveling makes you open-minded. Traveling makes you open-minded, youth leader Tanish. You can start.
So before I start my speech, I have a small question for you. Why do people travel? I repeat, why do people travel?
To enjoy.
Yes, exactly.
To explore new things?
Yes, very good. So the simple answer, if I say, everyone loves to travel. Am I right? Yes, because in today's world, almost everybody chooses to travel and tourism as their leisure. Traveling is a good way to learn about the world. Also, it teaches us many interesting things about the cultures of different nationalities. Traveling is the best option for a person who wants to do some sightseeing or just want to relax. It helps us to learn history and culture heritage of the place that is passed on to the people from generation to generation. Soon, now we will find how traveling is cured. Traveling can disconnect you from daily routine. Once you break the repetitive pattern, traveling can disconnect. So pack your bags and hit the road. Your mind can reset. Seeing new places, meeting new people, overcoming various challenges may even help you appreciate with what you have left behind. It can help you to take a step back and think about the things you miss. You can get a perspective in your life and remember all the good things. Traveling lets you live for its own sake. One of the biggest benefits of traveling is that it takes you out of your comfort zone, especially if you're traveling to a place you have never visited before. Everything seems fresh and new. A new stimuli attack to all your senses. You sense new landscapes and experience vivid colors. You hear people speaking an unknown language, listening to new music, and which overflows with a new sense of smell, especially the smell of taste of food. Yummy! My mouth is filled with water about thinking food. So now here I also want to ask, how do we meet the world? Books, the internet, TV news, and documentaries tell us about the distant countries, people, and their way of life. However, a TV report presents to you someone else's point of view, and you may very well narrow your perspective instead of broadening your mind. Traveling the world and meeting new people, living in different conditions, and treating life is differently what teaches you about world. Once you visit, you may even challenge your own opinion about less known places and culture. Real life education is more memorable because it is personal, and our memories are part of which we are a part of our identity. They are more positive memories we revisit often. One of your photo albums, a minute later, you will realize you were smiling while going through the pictures. You see happy faces and funny movements and shared with friends and family. You see yourself cheerful. Wow, I am looking in this photo, so beautiful. Wow, the scenery is so good. You feel energy and you relive all the happiness. These cherished moments are precious stories you can tell your children or grandchildren one day, and they will be vivid to them as they are for you. Scientists have established that a sense of happiness increases even before we start our journey. Why? We look forward to it. The simple expectation of the trip that will help us break from our free routine creates a positive feeling. The second travel related habit is movement. If you plan a walking or trekking trip, you prefer to go early as morning to be the amidst of nature, to feel the whispering sound of to feel the whispering melodies of birds, to smell the flowers, to smell the aroma of flowers, fresh flowers, and to watch the beautiful panorama of sunrise. These activities keep us fresh and healthy throughout the day, and we can travel a lot for hours and hours. And finally, laughter. Share the journey with your friends and family. Laugh together. Remember, a good laugh heals a lot of hurts. Conclusion of my speech. Traveling is a great and admires the warm nature and new places to explore. So choose your dream destination, book your ticket, pack your bags, Adventure is waiting for you out there, and there are so many benefits of traveling there. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Tanish. Now, this brings us to the end of the prepared speeches.
I'm sorry, ma'am. So this is the chart related to traveling.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Moving forward, I hand over the virtual stage to Toastmaster Rutu, who will be conducting an interview to the participants and the address from the dignitaries. Over to you, Rutu.
Yeah,
Thank you, contested Toastmaster.
Ankita,
Yes,
we
sir.
need to move into a breakout room
Yes, sir.
with these
Yes, sir.
tally counters, Anishri and I think Nikhil, and we will have a discussion. Meanwhile, you can continue with this.
Yes, sir. Nagraj sir, is the breakout room ready?
Yes, yes. I will move them.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be difficult for the judges to choose who is going to go to the finale because all of us did well.
Yes, sir. You want to say something?
Yeah, you can start continue. No? I moved them to breakout room already.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Ankita, for conducting the contest so beautifully and so professionally. And I congratulate all the youth leaders for performing fantabulously great. Coming to the dignitaries' address, I request any of the youth leaders to come ahead and come forward and have a word or express their views regarding the journey now as youth leaders.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So today's meeting went really great and we all spoke really well. And it's really going to be a very tough task for the judges, honestly. And all the youth leaders, all the best who all get selected and who all don't. It doesn't matter by winning. And I hope we all do well further.
Can I speak, ma'am?
Yeah.
Thank you. Preetham, what you told was exactly right. It's going to be difficult for the judges to select only 8 of us among so many of us, so many of brilliant, so many brilliant speeches that everyone has given here. And through this journey that I've had, 8 sessions of youth leadership program, I've learned a lot of things. I was not speaking this much before, and now I've definitely improved a lot. And youth leadership program has definitely helped me through this journey a lot, actually. And I've started writing more. That is not even related to the topic, but I've started writing more because I had to write all my speeches. So I've also started writing more while I was in this program. So thank you. It was amazing.
Yeah, can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was great. Every as both of them said, it was great, and everybody's speeches were great. We covered up so many topics which were good, funny, nice, from Coca-Cola to depression to every single thing. I think that was great because it has opened up our minds now. So the things which I prepared and everybody prepared, so they have worked very hard on it, and if we win or we lose, we have learned a lot, I think. So that would be great. That would be all the best to all the youth leaders. I wish you come second and I come first.
Anybody
No
else?
one, no one has decided who is first
can
or
I?
who is second yet.
Ma'am, can I speak?
We are going to have the finale.
Rutu, ma'am, can I?
Yes,
Give a
yes,
try?
Kashvi, go ahead. Yeah.
Getting a chance to speak at this early age on a platform like Toastmasters is a huge achievement for all of us. We have learned a lot in this journey. We have made friends, memories, and it is very important in our life to make friends too. And getting a chance to speak in front of such amazing people and getting to know so many excellent Toastmasters is a huge thing. I didn't know till yesterday that my neighbor was also a Toastmaster. I was like, Uncle, you should have told before. At least I would have come and practiced in front of you. So random people come into our life for a reason. Toastmasters too entered into my life. And I would definitely like to thank Mark Zuckerberg for it, for inventing Facebook. Because if my mom wouldn't have seen that post on the Facebook, she wouldn't have enrolled me into it, and I wouldn't be sitting in front of you all and giving my speech for this international speech topic. So I would like to thank everybody for being there and listening to our speeches. And like everybody said, that this is going to be a very neck to neck competition for the judges to find out who is going to be to select children out of 17 marvelous children. So actually, all the best to the youth leaders and the judges.
Thank you, Kashvi. Any other youth leader? I see Hiranmai. What about Hiranmai? Why don't you have a word?
Oh, ma'am, it is my it's my joyful pleasure to join this team of superheroes, I would call, or to be superheroes. Actually, after the lockdown, I, I turned myself into a devil. Now the Hiranmaya you're seeing on your screen is not at all the one whom you see back at home. She's like just like a wild animal. I keep yelling at anybody I see. I don't have this kind of patience and coolness. So the time I joined this program, the major thing I learned was to beat my fear and to bring in some patience. I enjoyed being with all of you. I'm still am enjoying being all with all of you. I made a few mistakes in my speech today. Hope I get some good results, and all the best to all the other speakers.
Thank you, Hiranmai.
Thank you.
Youth leader Vaishnavi, why don't you share your thoughts?
Hello everyone. Good evening once again. It was great
Good evening.
journey for me. There was it was the first time I interact so many people. I usually don't talk to so many people. I'm very scared. Actually, when I get close to them, they will leave me. I have that fear. But here, not only from the Toastmasters and all the seniors, I learned from the youth leaders too. They're very what I don't have a perfect word to describe them. All are very energetic, enthusiastic, very much. And yeah, it will be tough for the judges to select 8 members. I would say that. And all the best, everyone. Thank you.
Ritu, I have a
I must say,
question.
all the youth leaders are very blessed to have such great mentors as you guys have got this year. And all the mentors have been so profound leaders or are well experienced, and you guys are very lucky enough to get such experienced Toastmasters to guide you. Anyone else to talk?
Ma'am, I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Ma'am, like before this Toastmasters thing, you would always see me at home sulking about how lonely I am and me not doing any work. I would just be like jobless, roaming around the house, sulking about how bored I am. And now I'm like really happy after this. I've made so many good friends here. Like they're all extremely smart and talented. And I feel very happy nowadays. You can like see me smiling a lot. So I'm very happy about that. I've also learned how to communicate better, like a really lot much better than before. So yeah, I really love the program. And I'm sad it's ending next week. So
I have noted one thing, like right from the day one when I was the MOC for the first day, that was the induction program. I could see that nervousness, that tensed faces amongst all the 18 youth leaders, and that thing has just vanished now. I don't see that fear. I don't see that, the soft corner. I want to just hide from someone or nothing like that. Everyone have become such proud youth leaders. It's amazing. I can see those results today. Everyone were terrific in their speeches. Such unique ideas, such unique thoughts at a young age. That's kudos to you all.
Can I
One up.
speak?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Ma'am, I had a point to make.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I firmly disagree with you when I say, when you say that we don't have, at least I don't have that fear in me anymore. Actually, the other day, I think Sunil sir said that everybody's scared when he or she is giving a speech. It's very true. Even today, I almost forgot my speech. My legs are still shaking if I try to recall those moments. But it was really very scary. So I'm sorry to say I disagree with you.
No, it's okay. You'll be a good leader ahead. I'm for sure. And I for sure that everyone who are present today will be a great leader and will be Toastmasters. Now you guys are youth leaders. You are for sure going to be Toastmasters ahead.
Can I speak?
Yeah, Saish.
I was having I was facing two basic problems like my stage fear and my vocabulary in English, which was vanished in the 7 sections of YLP. The result of YLP came to be known when I was called to give speech in my school, and I confidently delivered a speech which I was not prepared on the topic of farmers' protest in New Delhi, and it was a big success. And all my friends and teachers and my principal sir gave who helped me, who recognized my talent, and it was very proud moment for me. And I would thank all Toastmasters and my mentor and our Madam President Sandhya ma'am, who helped me to be a confident speaker in spite of my school time. And all I would like to thank all the youth leaders who cooperated with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Saish.
Ma'am,
Anyone
can
else?
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah. Ladies first. Who was the young lady who spoke? Yeah, Pavitra.
So for the first time in my lifetime, opening my mother's family groups and scrolling through and finding this link was actually useful, because when you normally open your mom's chat box or something, you don't really find anything productive. For the first time, I found this link, and being frank, I was a very bad listener. I was a really bad listener. So I could say that Toastmasters has increased my listening skills in the way of, assigning roles and all of that stuff. Like, we have to pay close attention in whatever role we are playing. So it has definitely increased my listening skills and also understanding skills, because for a bad listener who does not understand things properly, this session and these 7 sessions leave a really proper impact on you, that you know how to talk now. Like, you know the way you have to present yourself when you have to talk about a particular thing. So I guess Toastmasters has enhanced those qualities, not only in me, but I guess everyone out here, all the youth leaders. As the speech competition took place today, everyone was really great. I hope the best ones get selected. That's it. Congratulations to everyone for, first of all, delivering their speeches. Thank
Youth
you.
leader Pavitra, opening mother's chat box can, I don't know about, it can be sometimes destructive also.
Destructive, totally destructive. Yes.
Anyone else? Well,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
very eager to see you all physically now. Virtual thing has become
Ma'am,
very boring. I'm waiting for the grand finale to see all the 8 participants as well as the 17 youth leaders.
I had the same question.
Yeah.
I think I'm audible now.
Yes.
I'm sitting on the terrace.
Absolutely. Yeah.
ma'am, can I speak?
Yeah,
Yes.
Ma'am, they say the best thing about a journey is not the destination, but the travel and the experience that comes through with it. So I just want to say it was just a wonderful experience, a lot of friends, a lot of fun, and a lot of learning. And I just made so many friends. I didn't even realize I was learning. I even learned a lot of things, how to speak, how to listen, how to respond, and many other things. So just to say, all the best to everyone. And whoever gets selected for the finals, may your speech go well and rock it.
May I?
I completely agree with you,
Yes.
leader Krupal. He made few friends, good relations also. But there was competition equally. There is competition equally.
Yeah, ma'am, can I speak?
Yes, Aradhya.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, first of all, the experience I think was stunning. Made a lot of friends and all, ma'am. And I would like to thank the Toastmasters and mentors. Like Ritu ma'am said, ma'am, that we improved a lot from the first session to the last session. But I don't think that we felt it from inside. It was only the support and patience that the Toastmasters and the mentors gave. So I would like all the Toastmasters and the mentors for thank you. And thank you, the Toastmasters and the mentors, for giving the support and their patience and also their time for devoting on us. With this, we will be a great leaders, I suppose, one day. Thank you.
Absolutely, Aradhya. We all will be a great leaders one day.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, I had a thing to say.
And was it? Yeah, you might tell me. Yeah.
Actually, I use this platform to, reveal my huge, crazy love for the Avengers. And I'm so happy that all of you guys listen to me very patiently, not thinking that, oh, she's a big maniac about the Avengers. Yet again, I come in front of you with another quote which says, part of the journey is the end. It's looking ulta. So I can connect that thought to this youth leader program. I didn't realize how quickly 8 weeks rolled away now. We are facing semi-finale, and I don't know how many of us are going to get selected. So all the best who are going to get selected.
At the end of the day, they say all are winners. Yeah, all are winners.
Speak?
All were. Tanish, you wanted
Yeah.
to say something?
Yes, ma'am. May I also speak?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So one day my mother was just looking into phone. She's most addicted to Facebook. So she was scrolling and scrolling. She found a link, and she asked me, "Do you want to join?" Yes, I said yes. What I asked about everything, and I did all the queries. That day itself, I called Rutu ma'am at 10 o'clock. Like I did not wait for a while, and I just called Rutu ma'am. Rutu ma'am did. She said, like, I'll do the registration tomorrow as it's late. But I refused, ma'am. That ma'am, you please do the registration right now. I just pay the fees by tomorrow itself, and I want to take the material as early as possible. So I used to call her daily, and I used to ask for the material. Ma'am, has my material arrived? Can I come to take? And ma'am was like, okay, fine, you can come, you can take. And later that day, first session, when I delivered my speech, I was a bit nervous. Like I was confused. Have I delivered it good way or no? Later, I called my mentor. My mentor just said, "You did a wonderful job." Then later, I guess Rutu ma'am or Namita ma'am, someone posted a photo of our first session. Immediately, I just made a frame of it. It's like a good memory for me. Like having with y'all, and it's very good thing. And I have the frame right now, but it's not with me right now. It's out. So that is the good memory. And what we chat, right? Like we scroll, we chat a lot in the group. Like I won't chat anything, but I love watching your chats. Like everyone is so crazy in the group. Like
to interrupt you, there is less of chatting and more of spamming in the group actually.
Yeah, that's what. I just love
And
to read.
it's just mostly random stickers.
Yeah, that's what.
Sent by Mr. Preetham. He always sends a potato, dancing potato.
Yes.
So this made me so confident. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the best memory of my life. This Toastmaster has given me a wonderful base where I will continue to be a successful reader. I would really thank to our president ma'am and Rutu ma'am for supporting me a lot. And my mentor Shweta ma'am also. Thank you. And all the best everyone for your speeches.
I had
Thank you,
something else
Tanish.
to say. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So I hadn't thought of anything. I speaking in front of an audience. I did not think of it at all that I will be able to do that or not. In school also, I'd never tried it before. So as I came here, I got to know that everyone has that talent to speak in front of an audience. You need to deliver your ideas, then only you can achieve something. So it changed my whole perspective. Basically, I was like, I'm going to become a scientist, sit in a place and do my job, do some research. And but now I think that I can do more than that. I can really change someone else's mind if they are doing something wrong, or if they can do something better. So I learned that from the youth leadership program.
Thank you, Yashaswini. I see everyone have had a word. How about Preetham?
Youth leader Preetham is busy spamming the chat now also.
Yeah, I just sent those potatoes again in the group.
Everyone's actually started timing right now in the group.
The potato gives me a headache.
Migraine fuel, as Kripa says.
I might not never eat fries now.
This is what's been
Youth
going
leader
on.
Preetham has some unique connection with potatoes. Anything to say, Youth leader Preetham? Your experience in Youth Leaders program?
A great journey from the 2nd of January till the further next meeting. It's pretty, a sad thing for me at least that the whole program is ending next week itself, and I've got to learn so many things from the Toastmasters, the mentor, and mostly the youth leaders. And I've made some really great friends, and I feel myself that I have changed from the first meeting to now. If you would have like told me to speak something like this, some weeks ago, I wouldn't. And I myself on the first introduction session, I was really nervous, really nervous, and it's been a great journey.
Ma'am, everybody forgot about youth leaders training.
I was about to call Youth Leader Shrenik now.
And Ananya too, ma'am. Ananya.
Yeah. Youth Leader Shruti also. I didn't have a word with her. So who wants to take it first? Shruti, Ananya, who?
Yes, ma'am. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Since Yashaswini called me out like that, I think all of it, as one of the youth leaders said, that the destiny does not matter unless and until you enjoy the journey. And I can say that in the past 8
Ananya,
years,
sorry to interrupt you. Could you please switch on your camera, your or video?
ma'am, give me a second.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I am here. Just a second. I'm gonna set my camera. So in like the last 7 to 8 sessions, what we have covered, I can say that we made like a lot of friends and so many friends from my school. I didn't know who were gonna come into this program. And I thought, okay, so they are all 8th graders and 9th graders. I'm the only 10th grader here. But actually they're quite all, they think almost the same. And then I made like a lot of new friends. And obviously when we talk about something that is related to public speaking, the most important thing is to lose stage fear. So stage fear is not something that will go off in 2 days or attending 1 or 2 sessions. It's a process, and we learn every single time we give a speech, and every single time we present something in front of someone. And I can say my journey from this point where I'm standing right now in the public speaking sector, I can say that my stage fear is not completely gone, but I can say that it has reduced in a major amount. So I can talk to people without hesitating or thinking or overthinking, basically, and all of that, and a lot of presentations as well. When you're giving a speech, you have to stand out. But I was this person who used to struggle a lot and like, what is that? Cover myself a lot and not talk to people. But I overcame that too. So I can say I made a lot of friends. I learned a lot of things, and so many people, so many amazing youth leaders we have here. and everyone is so different. I thought so many of us will be the same, but like everyone is so different. We might relate to one thing or two, but everyone is vibrant and completely into different fields. We have badminton players, tennis players, a lot of people, musicians, bibliophilic people, so many people. But I made a lot of friends, and I am never going to regret this journey. I love this journey a lot, and something I'm going to remember for a lot of years. Thank you.
Ma'am, you are on mute.
I have heard everything from youth leaders. Now, how about having some talks with your mentor, Toastmaster Dipshika ma'am? Are you there? Toastmaster Dipshika ma'am? Okay. Toastmaster Rachna ma'am?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Good evening, everybody, and hello, all the youth leaders. It was really wonderful listening to each and every speech, even though I joined a little late and I couldn't hear a few speeches at the right at the beginning. But it was really nice, and this has been like this. The youth leaders have been saying that it is a learning experience, getting to know each other. In fact, it was a learning experience for all the Toastmasters also, all the mentors, and I'm sure the other Toastmasters would agree with me. It is so heartening to see such small, I mean, I won't say really small kids, but the young generation of today coming up with such wonderful ideas, with such a beautiful thought process that they have, that it's really very, it warms your heart to the core that okay, this is how they think. And I'm an educator, so I do come across students, but I must say that each and every person had given their views so well. Excuse me, just a minute, please. So it was really nice and a wonderful experience, and I'm glad that I could participate in this and be a mentor, and my mentees were also very. Excuse me, can you just give me a minute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
My pup is getting a little jealous that I'm giving the attention to the others. so so it's like I was saying, that it was really wonderful attending all the sessions. The educational programs which were conducted for the students were for the youth leaders was totally enriching for us as well. So I'm really glad, and I wish each and everyone a beautiful journey ahead as a speaker, because this is not the end, this is just the beginning. I was just talking to my mentee, and she was a little disturbed that she didn't finish her speech well. So I just told her that yes, this is just the beginning. You will be coming across many speeches. You will be delivering speeches at your school level or any other level. So whatever you take away from here is going to be helping you in your near future. So I wish once again everybody all the best, and be confident and move confidently in the direction. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Toastmaster Ritu? Yeah,
Yes,
am I
ma'am.
yeah, hello Ritu. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, there was some work going on, so I was on mute mode. So, congratulations, all the youth leader. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole session. And yeah, I'm spellbound. And Rashna ma'am rightly said, each one of you have come up with like different ideas. Some of you talked about your inner strength, the shine like a moon, and the pack your bag for the travel. and strike, different type of strikes, and your strength, hard work, and the societal, like teen society, your you see, I have a lot of takeaway from today's session, and it's not like mentor and mentee relationship is a kind of two-way communication. So there is always learning from both sides. Even we being Toastmasters, being mentor, learn a lot of things from you. Every day you are coming up with a lot of vocabulary have increased, in fact. And when the first day I can see the transformation in all the youth leaders. The first day when we met, and today I remember first day when they asked you to communicate with each other, there was a complete silence. But when Ritu ma'am, your Toastmaster Ritu, she asked to open up, every one of you are like so comfortable with each other. And this is how you got confidence when you connect with each other. And this is what this program is all about. You become yourself, and that fear of the stage fear is no more there. And I can see the whole galaxy of talent here. So I wish you all the best. And there is no like such thing called failure. Either we learn or we go further. So all the best, all of you, for your future projects. And today you all really came out with the flying color. So kudos to all of you. Over to you, Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Ritu.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll just wait for another 5 minutes till the breakout room time is over. Zoomaster Nikhil?
Yeah, we are back from the breakout room.
Yeah, okay. I request our today's Chief Judge Sunil Govind sir to express his views or thoughts, share his thoughts.
Good evening, youth leaders and Toastmasters. Really a big thank you for giving me this opportunity to be amidst you. And I think it was a Saturday evening well spent in terms of listening to so many different perspectives. As a father to a teenage boy, it was a great learning experience from many of you speakers. And I think I will take away more than what you guys would have learned today. I think there are a lot of, I would say, hidden messages within your speeches, which I think as parents and as adults, we would be taking back to our families. Some very touching speeches. And I'm pretty sure those speeches will be with us even after this contest is over. Thank you for that. Thank you for having touched us in ways which I'm pretty sure there is certain amount of transformation that has happened within us also. And hats off to your mentors and people who have been pushing you. I know it's difficult listening to people who keep pushing you, and but I think they mean well. And I'm pretty sure a few years down the line, you will look back at this experience with a lot of really good feelings of having taken away some really good life lessons. See, standing on stage and speaking is not just about fear of being on stage. It is much beyond that. You guys need to understand that. It is about putting yourself out there and expressing yourself in a very vulnerable way. That makes you mature in ways that you will not understand today. I know many of the things which I am telling now, you guys will not understand, but I am hopeful that it will stay in your mind and it will be there, and some meaning will come to you as you progress in your journey. I would want that many of you, as you move forward in your journey, continue into the Toastmasters movement and become truly great leaders and speakers that I'm pretty sure you guys can become. And that's what I've seen today. Hats off to all of you guys. You guys have done exceptionally well. I know a lot of challenges were there. I've seen many of the speakers struggle to speak. There's nothing wrong with struggling to speak. It's about speaking on the stage that matters. Today, you may not be a great speaker, but I'm pretty sure you will become a much better speaker at a later date. I keep telling people, you may not be a great speaker, but definitely you can give that one great speech that will motivate the people around you. For that, you don't need to become a great speaker. You just need to be a great human being. That's all I have to say. I think I've said more than enough, but I'm truly touched by many of the things that I've heard today, and I don't know what else to say. I'm beyond words. And again, hats off to the mentors, having worked, and especially the Toastmasters. I know Toastmasters itself takes so much amount of your time. Then to take more time to sit with these people and give your time, I know that requires a lot of effort and very intentional effort from your side. Thank you for, I think from the district, I'm a district officer also, and from a district side, I will say thank you for giving us more members in the future. Over to the TMOD, over to the MC.
Thank you, Sunil sir, for giving us such wonderful tips and for the golden words of yours. We have another mentor amongst us, Toastmaster Anushri ma'am. Could you please share your views?
Thank you, Madam MOC, for giving this opportunity. But I'm awestruck to listen all these cherubic youth leaders today. They kept me just glued to my chair. I was just smiling, like I wanted to go out and I wanted to have a cup of tea, but then I said, no, I don't want to miss even a single chunk of today's meeting. But yesterday I was thinking how to listen all those 17 speeches. Oh my God, listening each and everyone for 6 minutes. How will I sit? But today, really, they made my day. It is weekend here in Saudi Arabia and they made my weekend amazing. I'm taking away so many messages today. Hats off to you, all the youth leaders. You are really amazing. Keep up the same spirit. Go ahead, never look back, and explore more and more things. Never ever stop for any reason. This is my message to you. All the best for your further project. And now, upcoming meeting will be more intense. So prepare hard. Prepare hard. By heart your speeches. Don't look here and there. With full 101% confidence, you have to present all your speeches. Will you do that? All the youth leaders? Yes.
ma'am.
Looking forward for one
Yes,
more
ma'am.
electrifying session from all of you. That will be the last session, but we shall keep our relation like this alive forever. Don't forget your mentors wherever you go. Okay, all the best to all of you, and kudos to KLS IMER Toastmasters Belgavi. You are doing amazing job. Claps. Over to you, Madam MOC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anushri ma'am. The main person behind conducting the youth leader program, I would now like to call Toastmaster Nagraj sir to share his views and thoughts.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rutu ma'am. Thanks for inviting. I'm not the main person, I'm one of the main person. There are, all of you are main person. The main person we have to say is our President and Chief Coordinator of this YLP session, Toastmaster Sandhya ma'am. And she's the one. We are just, all of us are supporting each other. Regarding this session, it was really wonderful. I was also glued to the screen and the chair. I couldn't move because I was the host, Zoom master. So I was unable to go and get the tea. But still, the speeches were good. You all prepared so well. And I'm sure those who are going to compete on 20th, the judges are going to have a very tough time. Very tough time. Trust me, you all did excellent job today. And those who will be left out of the 8, you all will get different kind of roles and chance to speak. And whenever you get a chance to speak, give your best. Don't think it's just for formal introduction. I will speak without energy. No, don't do that. A good speaker is the one who speaks with enthusiasm and with interest, gracefully, every time whenever he opens his mouth. It's not about when you are giving speech, you prepare well, then only you speak nicely. No, this all 8 sessions are to train you to speak well every time, not only one time when you're giving the speech. But still, you all did well, and thank you so much, all the mentors. You all have put a lot of efforts behind this progress and this transformation in the youth leaders. Thank you so much, and I guess all the youth leaders are curiously waiting to get the results now. Okay, still, but we have another 5-6 guests, so I would like to ask them to give their views for 5 minutes. So 5 Faiza. So still another 25-30 minutes we need to listen to the. Is it okay, youth leaders? Yeah, they're showing thumbs up, but it is like this. It's okay, Toastmaster Rutu. Thank you so much, and over to you. Rutu, are you there?
Yes, sir. Before I hand over the control back to our contest chair, I would like to congratulate all the youth leaders for giving such an amazing and mind-blowing speeches today. It was great listening to you all. Now, the moment has arrived. The result. I now request Toastmaster Ankita Arolkar to please announce the results. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankita.
Thank you, Ritu. A very tell the results now. But I would like to share something with you all. Just on this last Wednesday, we were preparing for our club contest. And that time, my mentor, also the chief coordinator, Sandhya ma'am, told me one thing, that it is not about winning a contest, but it is giving your whole 100% and participating in it. So I would like to say congratulations to all the participants for competing so well. Your speeches were fantabulous. And now coming to the results.
Ankita,
Yes.
Give it in the reverse order.
Yes, sir.
Okay, start with number 8 and go all the way to number 1.
Yes, sir. So the 8 participants who will be participating in the finals are Niketana, Pavitra, Krupal, Ananya, Yashaswini, Kashvi, Preetam, and Siddharth. Congratulations to everyone. See you all on the next Saturday. I hope all of you are coming to Belgaum. Over to the master of the ceremony.
Thank you, Contest Chair, Master Toastmaster Ankita. Congratulations to all the winners. I now request the host to please share the screen.
Ankita,
Toastmaster Nagraj, sir.
You got it? You got the certificate? Share.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay, just while you're waiting, just a couple of words from my side, which I missed out. I would like to share a sense of gratitude for DTM Prakash Tamankar, who's been instrumental in having me and our set of judges being here. I think we really need to give that gentleman a round of applause, because I think he's done. I know that he's been doing quite a lot for the clubs here in this area, in this region, and I think hats off to him for finding that kind of time. I would also like to say that I'm very grateful for the support given to me by the timer as well as the tally counters. Thank you for all the support. Without you guys, I don't think I would have been able to do justice to the role in this particular aspect. Thanks, Nikhil and Anushri, for having held my hand. I was struggling, and these guys came up and really helped me out in trying to do it, because it was a tough judging thing. We had a lot of challenges, and they were able to sort out a lot of the issues and challenges which I went through. Sorry for taking the stage so unceremoniously. Over to the MOC.
Thank you, sir. Toastmaster Ankita.
Yes, Ritu.
Could you please share the screen, or Toastmaster Nagraj, are we sharing the screen?
Yeah, I'll do just a minute. Give me some time. I'll be doing it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have announced the results before that, actually.
So they were all so curious and waiting from half an hour.
Toastmaster Ruta, I will share the screen now. You can start to give appreciation certificate as the name appears on the screen. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
I will call upon Toastmaster Nagraj sir to please receive his certificate. Thank you, sir. I now call upon our mentor, Toastmaster Anushri, to receive the certificate. I now call Toastmaster Ankita, Toastmaster Nikhil, the Zoom master, to please receive the certificate. I now call upon Toastmaster Ankita Arolkar to receive her certificate of appreciation. I now request Toastmaster Sunita, the mentor of Youth Leadership Program, to receive her certificate. I now call upon our today's timer, Toastmaster Shivanand, to receive his certificate. Thank you, sir. I now request Toastmaster Sunil to receive his certificate of appreciation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I now request our Toastmaster Nagraj sir, to give the presidential remarks.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rutu, for conducting such a flawless contest. First of all, I would like to start from our chief judge for today's session, Toastmaster Sunil Govind sir. Thank you so much for accepting our request and giving your valuable time to make this event a grand success. And all those anonymous judges, thank you so much. Convey our great regards to all the judges from our KLS IMER Youth Leadership Program for their tremendous job and evaluating or getting result for 17 youth leaders is really a great job. It is a tough task, but still they did it so well. And thank you so much. And for today's role players, Toastmaster Ankita, you really did a wonderful job being a contest chair for the entire event. You managed it so well. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Rutu, the master of ceremony, very good job, excellent job. Thank you so much. And our timer, Toastmaster Shivanand. Thank you so much, sir. You really did a great job being so busy with your business and your meetings. Still, you managed to sit for 2 to 3 hours and help for this noble cause of training our youth. Thank you so much, sir. And our mentors, Shweta ma'am, Anushri ma'am, and Dipshika ma'am. Thank you so much, all the mentors, for guiding all the youth leaders to bring such a transformation in them. And last but not the least, all our youth leaders, all the 17 youth leaders. Thank you so much. You all spent a great time, and your efforts will give great results to you. Congratulations to all the 8 youth leaders, those who qualified for grand finale. Do well, practice well. Still, you have 1 week to go on. And today it was a virtual platform. Next week it will be offline. You all must be aware and try to practice with a stage. Like you are giving a speech on the stage, you will not be getting a script in front of you to read it. So just keep that in your mind and practice so well. And we want the best speakers. All the 8 speakers have to be the best ones, because this is the first youth leadership program from KLS IMER club, and you all are going to set an example. So I want all the commitment from all the youth leaders for the grand finale. And those who are not from this city, try to come. Try to convince your parents and try to attend this grand finale. It is going to be a wonderful experience for your lifetime. Trust me, I have been involved in youth leadership not for the first time. In many times I have been involved in youth leadership program, and the transformations what I saw and what transformation is there inside me also came a part of from youth leadership program. That's where I learned a lot. And I would like to appeal to all our Toastmasters as well. I hope they all learned many things from this YLP program. Thank you so much, everyone. And over to, all the best for next session. See you all on 20th February with a great event. Thank you so much.
Oh, please take a picture.
Yeah. Okay, who will take the picture?
Sir, can you take, please?
Yeah, okay. Everyone, please switch on your cameras. I will give 2 minutes to do that to everyone. Okay, Sunita ma'am, you are there. Saish, youth leader Saish, are you there? Okay, great. But our MOC is missing. Yes. Rachana ma'am? Rachana ma'am, can you hear me? I think she's away. Okay. Okay, everyone, give a beautiful smile. Come closer to camera. Don't come so close that I can't see your face also. Okay, 3.
Sir, well, I'm sorry to disturb, sir.
Okay.
But some of them are not present in the meeting.
That our PR team will take the picture and attach there. It's okay. We will manage it later. Okay, everyone, smile. 3, 2, 1. Hold your smile. Let me check if it is good. Yes, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening. All the best and good night.
Congratulations, everyone.